about the start that Nestor gave you?
Man, that was tremendous. Got asked a lot about, what's the key for him. We're getting to know him, and just said, just feels like once he gets in a rhythm, it's really good. And he got in a rhythm right from the very first batter, and so just carried it through. And that was a fantastic effort for 6 one-hit baseball. It's the only blemish, didn't walk anybody, and thought he was tremendous.
Last week, you lost your presumed starting pitcher for the first game in Los Angeles, and the next couple guys gave up. Just that being a part of the rebound this weekend, where you guys are playing better, executing better. Like, how big is that? You're starting.
When you say playing better, executing better, you mean?
You clean or a little bit cleaner, executing, scoring runs. Seems like in all phases, it seems like you guys are at least a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we can unpack that and maybe have a baseball philosophical conversation the way I look at it. But
let's focus on the starting pitching.
Yeah, starting pitching, for sure. We got ourselves in holes over there. And yeah, that definitely needed to have been cleaner. The thing I do appreciate that it also helped us move forward to be able to win games is every single one of those starters regrouped and overcame their deficit, in the sense of they didn't allow any more. They gave us a chance to come back. We made a really good effort to come back in every single game, and it allowed our bullpen to be used appropriately, which set us up for the next 6, which we're still in. So, but now to your point, yes, we've gotten really good starting pitching. Darvish clearly great. I say this a lot. The recipe still is. There's a lot of different recipes. Tonight was another one, but that's the last 2 nights when you get 6 out of your starter, and then you're able to take a lead, go to your guys, and then add on. That's that recipe usually tastes the best.
Morion's obviously he's had some big spots this year. This was another one of them. What has stood out to you about the way he's been able to handle kind of his emergence into all these high leverage roles?
His attack, and his stuff's tremendous. He's not overly splitty, so he's got pitches for lefties and righties. But he's got 3 quality plus pitches that he imposes his will and gets after it in the strike zone, which is why he's able to be so efficient. We've been able to your point, we've used him in a lot of different roles. One day we used him in the 4th to get out of a jam, he grabbed some of the 5th, and the next day, based on where our bullpen was, because we had to run through a lot of guys that particular day, and he was fresh to do what he did that day. The next day he got the 9th. Today he finished the 8th, got the 9th. But really it's about, and he's very representative of our bullpen. These guys go out and they've got really elite stuff, but their stuff plays in the zone.
For Cortes to do what he did, and O'Hearn and Laureano both big hits in that 3rd and 4th inning rally, is this kind of an example of just how impactful those guys have been, the deadline acquisitions?
Oh, it's been huge. Again, tip of the hat to AJ, and tip of the hat to the clubhouse and the staff, and obviously the biggest tip of the hat to the actual players that are doing it, and tip of the hat for AJ for acquiring them, and tip of the hat for the clubhouse and the staff for acclimating. Because that transition was really done well. It was intentional, it was done well. Our clubhouse did it. 2 guys accepted roles that they were going to have to take a little bit more of a different role, or in the eyes of some, a diminished role, and did it willingly and put their arm around them. And then these guys came in and just absolutely embraced what we were about, and are just great fits, not only from a talent standpoint, from a character standpoint, and a desire to compete and win standpoint. So, Laureano, I love the fact that we're getting in that situation. Talked about it, 10-ish days ago, about the last hurdles for us is being consistent with the approach, runner scoring position. I just love bogey the last couple of nights. Sacrifice by, you mentioned Laureano, boom, after the walk from Manny, base hit the other way. It's not a guarantee, but again, it's just the right approach, not trying to do too much. Laureano, boom, 2-run single to right, again, bogey the double down the right field line. Yeah, we're going to do damage. We've shown some damage too, but as Toddy said, who took his 2 walks, got a bag, scored a run, take what the game gives you.
What was the deciding factor on Jackson to IL, and do you have a corresponding move for tomorrow?
There will be a corresponding move. We don't have it finalized yet. There'll be a conversation here shortly. Has been in flux the last couple of days. just a matter of recovery today. We looked up and just realized that, you know, there's a blend of Jackson's desire, heart, willingness to go out and play a little compromised, and you know, I feel like he could definitely do it, versus you know, us looking and saying, you know, him really getting on the field probably Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. And then we looked up and, you know, did the math, and, you know, like, okay, if he's ready for the second day in Minnesota, it's clean, he can go do his rehab appropriately. Let's go ahead and do that, and feel like it's his best opportunity not only come back, but to come back without any real compromisation of how he plays. You know what I mean.
What do you think of the way that you guys chased, or didn't chase, but you were able to chase Glasnow, and you guys have been doing that a lot more?
Fantastic. I mean, a big swing in a lot of games, or, you know, anything that's free, you know, and you know, we earned 6 walks today. You know, some guys took some really long tether bats. We had some long at bats that we still, you know, we championed Crony the other day, you know, with the 12-pitch at bat that showed us up on the Sunday game, and you know, we had some longer at bats early that, you know, just takes it out of guys a little bit, and you know, we were able to do that. We were able to take our walks, and that adds up. And I thought we were really stubborn and greedy to where we wanted to be against Glasnow and their pitching staff. And then, you know, listen, we had, what, 3 hits, scored 5 runs. You know, like I said, different recipes, and so you know, it's just a good offensive approach all the way. And again, I love the way our guys are getting better as the game goes. Second time through, there's a lot of dedication and proper focus to that.
So just to be clear on Jackson, right now the hope is for after the minimum.
It is, yeah. I mean, I think we're optimistic, and as you know, AJ, things change. But yeah, I think everybody, including medical and especially Jackson, feels like that when he's able to come off on that Tuesday in Minnesota, that it'll be full bore.